What's going on, Dr. Asha?
Hey, Steve, how's it going? My gosh, we have not been live in so long. This
We
is
have not.
amazing.
How'd you like that intro? Let's play it again one
I
more
like
time.
it.
Every time we don't have anything to say, we'll just cut to the
We'll just
intro.
put that. That's perfect.
I put that together in about 30 seconds.
That's
It
awesome.
probably looks as if we put it together in about 30 seconds. But, I've got some sound effects for us today. This, like you said,
Perfect.
this is our first live stream in a while because
Yes.
I don't really know why.
I
We
don't
just didn't do it.
either. We just didn't do it. We,
Well,
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we were poorly prepared. We just did not do many live streams. Well, you were busy, I was busy. We barely got our episodes recorded. So,
I know.
but for those of you that are joining us, this is the official pre-Christmas, pre-holiday conversations with Asha and Steve live stream. So, welcome. So we
You're
are out
welcome.
on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, and yeah, we just thought we would get together and check in here before the craziness of the holidays. Are you ready for Christmas? That's what I'm curious.
I am, Steve, but you know what? I don't know about you, but like for some reason, it's almost like Christmas snuck up on me this year. It's
Yeah.
like I haven't been feeling like, oh, it's almost Christmas until a couple of days ago. And I was just like, oh, it's like really almost Christmas. Like, I don't know what it was this year. It was a very strange deal. I don't know
Well,
about
I
you.
mean, were you busy or
Yeah, I
did you
was super
forget
busy.
December actually had Christmas attached to it? Or I mean, you're wearing the hat. You obviously are aware that it's coming
I
up.
am aware. No, I got the memo. No, but no. No, but you know what? I think it's because here on December 5th in the Netherlands, they celebrate Sinterklaas, which is way, way more popular and way bigger than Santa Claus.
Wait,
Actually, they don't have Santa Claus.
Center
Sinterklaas.
Claus?
Sinterklaas, yeah.
Is this like one of the Transformers?
No. No,
What?
but you know what? It's so that's on December 5th. And so like everybody gears up around here towards that. And then it like fizzles after that. So I just felt this year like, okay, we've already had it, kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay, so you got to explain this Center Claus thing to me. I don't understand. Is that like is it a dude named Center?
Yeah, I mean it's
Is it like a cousin of Santa or what's
it's
the
got to
scoop?
be. I mean, the thing is that he comes from Spain. This whole story. There's a big controversy over Sinterklaas. So I won't get into it too much,
No,
but
do.
because of
This
his
is why we're on
helpers,
live stream. I want to hear this story. I'm interested.
because his helpers they're called Zwarte Piet because they're the ones, which means Black Pete, which means that they go through the chimneys and they dress up like with all this black paint on and stuff like that. And over the
Oh,
last couple of
is
years,
this going to be racially inappropriate? Are we going
I
to
know
get banned like
that's
right
what
off the bat?
that's what I'm telling you. I don't
Oh,
want to get into too much of it, but
yeah.
it's really for children. It's a really fun celebration, though. They bring candy, and Santa Claus gets on his, little sleigh and goes throughout the town. It's really a lot of fun. I have to tell you, it's the first time. Actually, it was really funny. The first time that I celebrated it, or even became aware of it, I was in Amsterdam when the boat arrived from Spain, supposedly with Santa Claus, and all of a sudden I saw this guy with the white beard and everything, and all of his helpers, and I'm like, okay, this is Amsterdam. Too many people have been visiting those coffee shops. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh,
It was
coffee shops are
coffee
yeah,
shops,
code.
exactly. So, and it was really funny because I was like, we were sitting there and I asked this waiter, I'm like, what is going on here? What's he? And he explained it to me. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But yeah, so there's like this big hype about that. And they've got traditions where, you put your shoes out the night before and then you leave food for the the horse of Sinterklaas. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a totally different culture.
So Santa Claus comes down. Oh, I'm getting a little feedback. Are you getting feedback over there? Oh,
No.
now it's better.
No? Okay.
Um, so Santa Claus is a dude that comes down the chimney and they put black
No,
soot
his
on
helpers. Yes,
his
helpers
helpers.
are the ones that
So he's
get
up there coordinating the whole
Yeah, but you know what the
situation.
thing is that it's not necessarily from the chimney as much as they come from Spain. It's
So,
yeah.
so Yeah, I mean, this is pretty interesting, and this isn't just something you made up because you've been drinking.
No, no. It'll get even more interesting another sip that I take. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Well, that's a good segue. What are you
Yes.
drinking exactly?
So I'm drinking Havana Club rum.
Havana Club
I was
rum.
just asking you, Steve, I'm not too sure if it's even available over there. About 15 years ago, I met someone in a random city, like we just met there, and he introduced me to this drink. He was like, "What are you having?" And I do like rum, and he's like, "Oh, you got to try Havana Club." I'm like, "Never heard of it. Don't know much about it." And ever since, I just fell in love with it. It's just like so. I don't even know though if it's available in the States because it's Cuban. Not too
Well, we'll
sure.
have to. I'm gonna have to look for that. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to send it to me. Well, cheers. I have
Cheers.
my little
Yeah. Oh,
official.
cool.
I'm drinking Screwball peanut butter whiskey because I have a really bad cold, and hopefully this will
That's
help my
supposed to
cough.
help it.
I don't know if I drink enough of it, maybe it'll just knock me out.
I'm like, wow, I'd never heard of that for a
Well,
cold, but okay.
so go back to this, was this encounter with the guy that introduced you to the rum. You kinda skirted over that. "Oh, I met a guy in a different country. We met at the same
Yeah.
location, and he introduced me to the rum." This sounds like a kind of a Humphrey Bogart kind of
No,
situation going on.
it was one of those meetings, Steve. Great person, still keep in touch with him. And it's one of those, whenever you meet somebody and you just have this like perfect conversation and you know, have a couple of drinks and it's so cool. Yeah. So,
But you had to go to a completely different country in order for this to happen?
well, it was actually right after I moved here to Europe. And I
Was
was
this why you moved to Europe? Or I mean, I'm
no,
now starting to learn that, keep drinking. I mean, this is telling. I'm really, really into this. I'm curious. Okay.
no, it is not why I moved here. But I was escaping actually one of our other festivals that we have here called Carnival, which takes place yeah, so that's a whole other thing.
You guys have
Um,
Carnival over there too?
yeah, but it's,
Oh, I thought that was just like a Brazil thing.
no, it's here and in Germany. Germany's really big on it actually too, so
Oh, wow.
that is like 5 days of just drinking, dancing, dressing up, whatever, I don't know.
That's this is interesting. And when does that actually happen?
That is at the same time that Mardi Gras is, so, like, it changes dates, February, March timeframe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah,
come over and visit you. It sounds
you
like
do.
it would
You
be
do.
like infinitely interesting. I'm
Yeah.
checking our channels to make sure that we're on, and I am seeing
Okay.
us on Twitter. So
Okay.
there's a little bit of a delay, which is good.
That's a
Um,
good thing.
Twitter's just now getting to us talking about the alcohol we're drinking. So as I said, there's a high probability this could be our last live stream because we might be banned, right?
I
But
know.
you got to have, like, what did you say? You called it a hot toddy. That's what we needed
Yeah.
in order to do the live stream. But we are doing this because we're trying to, I guess, unravel the mystery of whether you are Santa Claus.
No, I told you I'm the elf.
That's, of course,
Japanese
what
elf.
you would expect Santa Claus, who doesn't want to get found out, to actually say. So, of course, you're like deviating, but
Mhm.
here are my facts. This is what I know.
Okay.
I never see you around Christmas. I never see you on Christmas Eve or Christmas. But of course, you
Okay.
moved away to to a different country, so it's so far away. That could be part of the reason.
That
But
could be part of it.
yeah, and you meet strange guys in bars to find out new rum that you can be drinking.
Hey, you know what? Thank you very much if you're watching.
Yeah, gosh, we all need friends like that for
Yeah,
sure.
we do.
But, you are probably one of the most giving people I know, and you never want any credit for it, and so, like, you're kinda perfect for Santa and the workshop, and, you're
Thanks,
good
Steve.
you're good at organizing, right?
Mm.
So maybe you have all these elves that are doing all your groundwork for you. So, I'm just curious. I mean, it just seems like it could be a coincidence, but I don't think so.
No, I think you're Santa Claus, actually.
No.
First of all, you've got the voice. I heard it earlier, Do you have it there, Steve? That was
Oh yeah,
clearly
Ho,
you.
ho, ho.
See? There you go.
that's just a sound effect.
Ho,
Oh, it
ho,
only played it
ho.
once. Oh, oops! Now he's really drunk. Let's try one more time.
Ho,
There we
ho,
go.
ho.
This is what happens
Ho,
when
ho,
we.
ho.
Hey, relax, there, buddy. Stop.
This is what happens whenever we use sound effects.
I mean, I have Santa's belly. I do. I will admit that probably.
Do you have his reindeer?
No, I didn't even know reindeer were legit. I was watching a thing on the Smithsonian Channel the other day, and I'm like, they're like some sort of thing that they did for the
Yeah.
Yellowstone Park, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh, here's the
exactly.
reindeer, and I'm like,
Yeah,
is that like a legit thing? I mean, is that where
it's
Santa
true.
gets? Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing, Steve. Don't mistake that. Rudolph's nose does not do that. I mean, there's no reindeer that has a nose that lights up. So that's the only thing that's untrue. But
So
they
see,
actually exist.
again, going back to the evidence, how would you know this?
I've been to Yellowstone. You've been to Yellowstone? You've seen the reindeer.
No. Go back to Rudolph. How do you know Rudolph is the only one that has the shiny, bright nose?
See, that's where I don't know. Does he have any siblings? I don't know. Maybe. Do reindeer have siblings? Of course they do.
Well, you got to hope, right? But I'm
Yeah,
just saying, you seem to have some insider knowledge of Rudolph that we don't all out here in the regular world possess.
in the regular world. Well, I will tell you, I did move closer to Santa Claus's home,
Yeah. How much
right?
closer are you in comparison to where we are in the States?
Oh my gosh, so much closer, like maybe a 2-hour flight, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. It's above Finland, Lapland, that area. That's where Santa Claus lives. I've been there.
Have you really?
Yes, I have.
Like, were you there earlier this week just checking on crap
No,
that's getting
no.
delivered
This is
later?
several years ago. This was several years ago, just to check in to make sure that they were, operations were going well.
They brought you in as an efficiency expert.
Exactly.
Is that actually how you got the job? Is you fired the other guy and you took it over? So yeah, I'm learning all sorts of stuff. You've been there to where he lives. Supposedly the whole inner working operation, and yet you claim that you're not the current Santa Claus.
Yeah. I am definitely not the current Santa Claus.
You're suspect, is what I think you are.
You have to prove. You have to come over here, Steve. You have to prove it.
I would love to. Yeah, for those people that are joining us, where is there? Where are you now?
Here is the Netherlands,
Netherlands,
or as most people know it as Holland, but it's the Netherlands. Yeah.
Does it still go by Holland?
You know what? Actually, I mean, people know it as Holland around the world, but Holland is actually a province in the Netherlands. There's different provinces, just like we have different states in the United States. And I don't know. I don't know why. I don't remember why that was just kind of known, like other than the Netherlands. A lot of people actually, it's funny, whenever I say the Netherlands, people don't even know what it is or where it is. They're just like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, and you guys celebrate Santa Claus there. So how did the correlation from Spain to Netherlands, how'd that happen?
I don't know. It goes back way, 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 way back. I have no idea. It's really geared towards the children, towards the kids, which is I think is really, I mean, that's what Christmas is. But if you look at how we celebrate Christmas now, it's all the adults with all the cool new gifts and gadgets and all this other stuff. It's not only about the kids. So but it's funny because a lot of the traditions here in Europe, I guess because it's so much older in societies, like what they've developed over the years. It's kind of funny. I mean, they acknowledge Christmas and everything, but not so much Santa Claus. I don't know.
Wow. So you feel rejected over there because you are Santa Claus. Or is this like, it's kind of like the witness protection program for you to be over there? Nobody knows you, so it's easy for you to do your work and nobody can discover it.
Yeah. That's funny, Steve. I can just blend into a country where they've got the tallest people in the world. Okay, first of all.
Well, think about it. Let's just look at the evidence. Nobody would suspect a really short girl, from Indian descent who clearly has the hat. I'm just going to say that right now. But who would suspect that? And then you're like, hey, look over there, Santa Claus. And you get anytime people start thinking, well, it is interesting. Asha's not around at Christmas. Why is that?
Mm,
And then you're
yeah.
like, oh, hey, check out Santa Claus.
But that's on December 5th every year. So you have to celebrate next year.
Okay,
I'll send
I
you all
will
the
definitely do
specifics.
that. And before we actually went live, you actually said, interestingly enough, tomorrow
Okay.
you're going to be out of pocket.
Yeah. Conveniently. Isn't that convenient, Steve? And I probably made up like, what I was telling you. Now it'll be up to you to decide.
Have you ever seen the NORAD Santa tracker?
Yes.
I'm going to figure out if we can get your name or your head
Yeah.
imposed on there.
Oh my goodness.
Because I think
Oh my.
you're not going to Spain tomorrow. You're going to do other work.
You're right. I'm not going to Spain tomorrow.
I thought you were going to Spain.
I'm not going to Spain.
Where are you going again?
I'm not telling you now.
Everything is starting to add up. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm glad we're doing this live stream because I think we are unraveling the mystery of the new Santa Claus. You were an efficiency expert. You went up there, told them what they were doing wrong, told them to fire the old guy, and you took over. It's kind of like Elon taking over Twitter.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, look at what all has happened this year, Steve.
Oh,
Can we take a moment to just kind of think about and reflect upon everything that's happened this year? It's been an amazing, just an amazing in so many different ways kind of year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what stands out to you?
Well, the biggest thing that stands out to me, this was the first year for us here in Europe that we finally were able to like go back to a somewhat normal life after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because, we went through hardcore lockdowns here. And even the beginning of 2022, we were still in a lockdown until about February, I think it was. And then things just started going back to normal March, April. So that was really weird.
Of this year. That's just crazy.
Which is crazy. But actually, I'm sorry, it was in February because literally the very next day or the next week, the war started. That's also something, so it like coincided with that. But that's crazy to me. It's like, oh my God, that was still this year. So those kinds of things. And also just, like what you were just talking about, Elon Musk taking over Twitter, all these different things that have been happening. Unfortunately, a lot of the big, I know your one true love, I shouldn't say one true love, but one of your true loves left us this year.
Olivia Newton-John.
Steve was supposed to marry her, by the way. So
technically she accepted. I'm just going to say, and the proof that I had that she accepted, my dad threw out.
But you have to share that story, Steve. What happened there?
I think I was 6 years old, and I don't know what the magazine was that I just became enamored with her after she was in Greece. And I figured out somehow as a 6-year-old with no internet, because this is way back when, somehow figured out how to write her a letter. When I think about the concept of this, right? I put stuff together. I was not a good writer. So, she actually had to read it. 2, I certainly didn't want my parents to know about it. So I had to, secure paper, an envelope, stamps, and I had to get that out where nobody would see it. And then to get it back. And then my mom's like, oh my God, what is this older lady writing you? I'm like, oh my God, you don't get, but they thought it was cool actually after everything was said and done. But I actually officially asked Olivia Newton-John to marry me. Okay. And she said, call me when you turn 21, maybe 18. I think it was 18. Cause back then it was like, it
was okay.
Was the 70s, right? It was,
right.
But and then I held on to that autograph picture she sent me and the letter. And then I kept it in my old room where it'd be safe. Right. And my dad decided to turn that into something. I don't know, gym or something crap, and threw out all that crap, including, and must be said, an autograph picture from Chuck Norris.
Oh, which, wow.
How I would kill for that thing again. But
yeah.
But
so anyway, did you ever look her up whenever you got older?
No,
No.
no, I
Okay.
was too afraid. I'm introverted. I'm shy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I should have drank that whiskey and then I would have like, been a little bit more courageous.
I think that's brilliant that at that age you found out how to get a letter to her.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I still have no idea how I did it. I
That's
cannot
pretty cool.
honestly say, but somehow, when love is in the air, that's what you do, right?
That's what you do.
But yeah, like you said, she left us. There's been some notable people this year that have
Yeah.
left us and off to better, greener pastures, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, exactly. So it's been one of those years that's just had a lot of ups and downs, lots of just interesting twists and turns. And I'm curious about what the new year holds for us. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
So let me ask you this question. So, the person who claims they're not Santa, what has been the greatest thing that's happened to you this year?
My goodness. The greatest thing that's happened to me this year.
Excuse me.
I would say, you know what? This year, really, and this is more of a internal thing, Steve, but I really started to gain more clarity about what I want to do when I grow up,
Which was apparently take over the North Pole
which is
Enterprise.
the takeover of, different things. No, no, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, this year, especially just because there were lots of things going on. I had a kind of a rough year with a lot of things more personally related,
Yeah.
and because of that it forced me to focus a little bit more on kind of what am I doing, kind of like that whole realization of like, wait a minute, what am I spending my time on, what is worth my time, time is precious, what's going on. And so there was some clarity that came out of that, and
Yep.
to me, that was really a gift this year. It's really, really a big gift.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Teresa asked us if we think that 2023 is going to be better than 2022. She asked that on Twitter. What do you think?
I think so. I think so. I think that we can expect a lot of changes, just like, I mean, change is constant, right? But I think that these changes are going to be for the better, you know? That's
Yeah,
what I would say. How about you, Steve? What do you think?
I think so. I mean, I think 2022. I was optimistic about it, and it was
Mhm.
if you look at the whole year in total, it was actually a pretty solid year for us
Right.
both, right?
Right. Absolutely.
We went through some growth and some changes. I think both you and I did in terms of what we were doing and focusing on our business and
Yeah.
sort of getting clear on some goals and
Hmm.
ambitions. But on the personal side, we both ran into some difficult challenges, and
Exactly.
I think those things come up sort of to even you out a little bit, in terms of the
Yep.
positives and the negatives, kind of to get you back even keel. But I think, I'm ready for 2022 to go away, and I'm ready for
Yeah.
23 to take over. And
Yes.
there's something really refreshing about starting the new year, right? At the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's like, it's a new opportunity. It's kind of like your town with a, new blanket of snow. It's like everything's fresh, everything's new.
Exactly.
And so I'm ready for that. I think that is probably my biggest thing. And I think there's, big things happening for us both in the new year.
Yeah. No, I agree. Thank you for that question, Teresa.
Yeah. Somebody named Sergeant Pidge, I guess,
Okay.
asked, what are we doing for Christmas?
Spending time
And
with family.
what are we doing for Christmas and what are we drinking?
Well, spending time with family, and we are drinking Havana Club rum,
Yep.
and Steve is drinking, what is
Screwball.
Screwball.
Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
That is
Not
so
a
interesting.
not a sponsor of this podcast, by the way, or live stream. But could be in the future. I mean,
Yeah.
call Asha. She's the business brains of this entire show. But you're spending it with family. I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
That's great. You've got your dad over visiting you,
Yeah.
which is great. How's that been? And
It's been
what
really good.
adventures do you guys have planned for the new year?
It's been really good. I don't know. It's one of those years. That's one thing that's interesting, Steve, is that usually I've always been like a planner, planner, planner. This
Yep.
year, that has changed drastically. It's just like, let's just kind of see what comes up, you know?
Absolutely.
Happy
Well, Tina
holidays.
just said, happy holidays. I have to brag on Tina for a second.
Yeah,
She's been a follower of ours for a while, but Tina is just been awarded Teacher of the Year for her campus here
that
in
is
Austin. Yeah.
awesome.
So
Congratulations,
so
Tina.
proud of her. She's
Oh,
worked
that's
hard
awesome.
to get that, and it's
Great.
a much deserved recognition, that's for sure.
Wonderful. Good job.
So let's go back. Like, where do you keep your sleigh?
I keep it at your house in the garage. I don't worry, Kathy and I have an agreement with that.
Yeah.
She knows all about it. You need to ask her.
Oh, that's that thing that she told me not to touch. Okay, I got it.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
got it. Tina
Oh.
says, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it. Uh, well, so let me ask you a question. So
Mhm.
what did Christmas mean to you growing up as a young child? What did you look the most forward to?
Um, I think it was just really about being with family. That was the biggest thing. Being raised, of course, in an Indian with an Indian background, Christmas not really being in our traditions
Right.
necessarily. Of course, my parents adapted to, the traditions in the States too as well. And it was just about being around, with family, playing games and just spending time and, that kind of thing. I really, really loved that aspect of it.
So when did you, as a child, when did you start sort of adapting into into that holiday spirit? And when you guys moved here, or how did that
Oh, yeah, no,
give a
that
little
was from the very
background for our
beginning. I
audience?
mean, we adapted with everything, Steve. I mean, because, it's really funny because my parents used to live in Europe before they moved to the States, like after they left India. And so it's like where they kind of took practices and cultures like with them. You know what I mean? So we adapted. We had a very integrated, so basically what that meant is we got to celebrate a lot, like every other week. You know what I mean? It's just no, maybe not that much, but I mean, so it was really good because we got to have the best of the East and the West kind of thing. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome. Well, and your dad's over there celebrating with you, and you guys are going to go on a trip
Yeah.
for this holiday. What are you most looking forward to for that?
Just relaxing. It's been, you know what, this year, 2022 has been an incredibly it's been a great year on so many fronts, but it's been an incredibly busy and hectic year.
Yep.
And I'm just really looking forward to just kind of shutting down a little bit, just chilling out, just relaxing. So that's what. How about you, Steve? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be, do you have a lot of parties going on or?
No, no, I'm gonna try and take some time off and relax a little bit. We let the our teams off for the holiday for the between Christmas and New Year's. In
Mhm.
fact, everybody's off today. I'm technically supposed to be watching support for for my software company right now,
Oh
but
my goodness.
let me check my email just to make sure I don't have any. Oh yeah, there's one voicemail, but um, yeah, overall, everybody
Mhm.
gets off this week, and it's just an opportunity to kind of reset and recharge a little bit. I'm going to
Yeah.
do some, my number one goal, aside from a few work things that I need to take
Mhm.
care of, is to do some reading and
Yeah.
just catch up on just some sleep. I've been sick this week,
Yeah.
so that has not helped my run up to the holidays. But
Yeah.
peanut butter whiskey, actually is it's
Who knew?
it has solved my coughing problem, which is good.
Who
So that's
knew?
positive.
That's a positive.
Yeah, it's I would not highly recommend this. Yeah, after it's pretty sweet. It's like
Yeah.
almost too sweet, but yeah, we happen to have a bottle up here at the office, so why the heck not, right?
Why not? Whatever's there.
But yeah,
Exactly.
no, overall, just kind of like relaxing and
Mhm.
just kind of chilling out a little bit. We got like brutally cold temperatures here in Austin right now, which is not usual for us. I mean, we go through
Right.
ebbs and flows. We've had years where, as you remember, Austin was like 94 degrees one Christmas, and
Exactly.
today I think we are hovering around 20 degrees. It was pretty
Wow.
chilly this morning, but
Wow.
part of the big Arctic cold blast that kind of came
Mhm.
through the is capturing
Yeah.
most of the United States. We didn't get any precipitation or anything, but just got all the cold temperatures.
Yeah, I did see that it's getting pretty cold in the I mean, the some of the temperatures, I was just like, "Whoa," like out in Wyoming and Montana, I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh my god,
crazy.
no.
Yeah.
No, thank you." That is like, mm-mm.
Yeah,
It's
my friend that's up in Minnesota was like -24 yesterday. Like,
Phew,
yeah,
yeah,
that's I mean,
yeah,
that's just the temperature. That's not even the wind chill. It's crazy.
exactly. I was gonna say, "Oh, no."
So,
Mm-mm.
what's the weather like over there at this time of year?
You know, it was really funny because the last 2 weeks we had freezing temperatures. I mean, it was really, really cold, and now all of a sudden it's like it's spring or or fall weather. I don't know, it's really strange, and while you guys but usually what happens is that it hits the States, and about 4 to 5 weeks later, it's here.
Yeah.
So, I suspect that in January, we're gonna have some cold, cold weather, but I don't know. It's so unpredictable.
But you guys have,
It's
like, early spring over there, right? Because you have aren't isn't the Netherlands known for, like, the tulips? Like, they
yeah,
pop up in, like, March timeframe?
usually
March, April?
April
Okay,
or May. Mhm,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I still wanna come over there and see that at some point. Now that I have my passport renewed, I really
Okay,
don't have
good,
any excuse. So,
good.
this year, maybe. Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Steve, you gotta stay for a couple of months though, because I have to show you a bunch of things.
Couple of months.
You can do your work remote.
I could do my work remote. Yeah, let me get my kids out of college and,
Yes.
have a little discretionary income, and then I'll do my best.
Exactly.
Bring Kathy over, she may never wanna leave. I think,
Yeah,
once
you
she
can leave
sees
her
those
here, that's
flowers.
okay.
Yeah,
You can leave her here.
yeah, I could leave her. You're like, "Well, yeah, technically, you could go back and you could just
Yeah,
keep
you
her."
can
Okay, I see how it is. I got
yeah.
it. Well, one of the things that we wanted to talk about in today's live stream though was, what were some of the highlights from the podcast, that we did
Mhm.
this year? What did you take away as far as anything that stood out to you that you really enjoyed about our shows this year?
I mean, I loved both like the Struggle is Real series that we had and also the last one that we did, the Banana Peels of Entrepreneurship. I really had some great conversations with people that had listened to those or, watched those episodes because it's one of those things that we usually don't talk about. We don't talk about the things that we struggle with as entrepreneurs and the things that slip us up. And it was really, yeah, that those were my favorite series actually that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Steve? Was there anything that stood
I
out?
love the banana peels one. I think
Mhm.
that that was a lot of honesty about some of the challenges that we've experienced
Yeah.
and seen as entrepreneurs and sort of what we've seen with some of the clients that we've coached and worked with.
Mhm.
Some of the difficulties and challenges that everybody kind of faces that nobody tells you about. There's no user manual, it turns out, when you become
No,
an entrepreneur that says, all right, or operating manual. Here's what you need to do and what to
exactly.
expect. It's a pretty uh, kind of mind blowing experience when you
Yeah.
start down the path of your own business or you're creating a new venture or whatever. And I think a lot of people struggle there because they don't
Yeah.
recognize just how big a challenge it is.
Well, I think, the thing about it is that most of the time online, we see only the successes. We only see the things that are working out for people. We
Yeah,
see only those and that's great and that's inspirational, it's motivational. However, it's not 100% realistic all the time that it's going to be like that all the time.
that's right.
And you gotta address those struggles, you gotta address those things that we can get hung up on, and we all do it. So it's good to be able to share that together.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that came up for me, I had a conversation with actually a coaching client that was really digging our series, was
Mhm.
how we really address the whole hustle culture and the
Yeah,
fact that a lot of that is just pop and circumstance.
yeah, true.
There's a lot of people put out only the good stuff on social media, but they don't
Mhm.
necessarily talk about the negative. And so we were talking about all of the potential slip ups that you could have as an entrepreneur, but specifically around the hustle culture being, you got to be working 24/7. You and I've come from that mindset. We used to do
Exactly.
that, and we know the sort of the fallacy of that mindset and also
Yeah,
the pitfalls that you run into by,
exactly.
running it at that level and the big challenges that you you're really setting yourself up for failure when you do that.
Yeah.
And yes, I see people like, I won't call anybody out because we're a live stream, but there's a lot of well-known entrepreneurs that all they do is talk about you got to be, 24/7,
Yeah.
focused 100% on your business. And,
Exactly.
you get enough sleep when you're dead, or you'll spend time and, enjoy, quality time with your family once you've made
Right.
it and blah, blah, blah. But you got to
Yeah.
be hustling all the time. And, the reality is that you only get one life, and you only get
Yep.
one chance to do this life. And I think if I had things to do over again in my personal experience, I would
Mhm.
have put a more stronger emphasis on having balance. And that's something that came out, I
Yeah.
think, from our conversation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that that's a big thing. And I think that's one of the things for 2023 that I really hope for both of us, of course, but also for our listeners to really embrace that and figure out what balance means to you and
Yeah.
actually put it into practice. Because I think that that's a really important aspect of life, business, everything.
So how have you incorporated this year specifically? Because you talked about it being a little bit of a stressful year in some
Mhm.
respects. So how did you make sure that you maintain that balance?
Yeah, I made sure to have those days planned where I was just not in the business, that I was really taking time out and really taking time off and not on anything whatsoever, and just really implementing that to have people on the team that could fill in for whenever I was not going to be there, and really implementing that. And it was a challenge in the beginning because it's like you have to let go. You have to let go of that control. You have to let go. But
Yeah.
it was really refreshing. It was really refreshing. So I really hope for more of that definitely in the new year as well. Just to
Yeah.
really, because you have to schedule it. You have to schedule it in.
Let me ask you a theoretical question.
Okay.
So, like, let's just assume you were Santa and you
Okay.
were following that advice. How would your operation at the North Pole actually go?
Hmm.
Like,
Well, if you think
hypothetically.
about it, technically, Santa would only needs to show up on 2 days out of the year, right? Technically.
That's right. Wait,
So you've got 363 days free where you've employed all your elves and everybody else to do everything, even your other Santas that go to the malls and take pictures with people and stuff like that. You have a whole, you've employed them all. So technically, as Santa, you only have 2 days a year to work.
wow. But that
Yeah.
payroll, I mean, that payroll's got to be huge. How do you cover that? I
It
mean,
pays itself,
hypothetically, if you were Santa Claus, how would you cover
hypothetically.
that?
There's, there are ways. Can't tell you everything, Steve.
Yeah, yeah, because that
Yeah,
that would give away all the secrets
that
that
would give away too many of the secrets.
but you got to have good. I mean, I guess one lesson we could take from Santa is that he's
Mhm.
a really good identifier of talent. He has the
Yes,
right people doing the right things at
exactly,
the right time, and then he can just float in, or
exactly.
I guess in your world, I guess it's the sail in, right? Like
Yes, sail
Santa
it.
Claus comes over on a boat. I still don't understand that at all. That seems so jacked up. But whatever. I mean,
Hey,
I guess reindeer over there probably wouldn't do really well with that climate. They'd
no,
eat all the tulips.
this is true. I didn't think about that. They
Yeah,
would ruin the coconut. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That would be a problem.
Yeah, that would be a
But,
problem.
yeah, yeah. I mean, not you, of course, because we haven't proven that you are actually Santa
Exactly.
Claus, but I mean, all evidence to the contrary. I mean, it does seem like you seem to know a lot about the operation. But
Yeah, right?
allegedly, you're not Santa Claus. But, at the end of the day, it's about having the right people in the right positions to do the
It
right
is.
things, trusting them to do their job,
Being able to
and
delegate.
being able to delegate,
Yep.
and then counting on the fact that when you show up and you're ready to perform, i.e., on those 2 days that you were talking about, well,
Exactly.
they got you covered.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just really, really important. I mean, that I think that that's one of the things that we all can take from that is like whenever you're building your team, take all these things into consideration.
Yep.
Who will be there? Who can you delegate things to? Be able to identify. And it's sometimes it takes practice though, right, Steve? When you say it's not always going to be a home run every time you make a hire. I
No.
loved that episode that we did actually about bad hires.
Yeah, I did too. Actually, I got quite a bit of response on this side
Yeah,
about that, you know,
that was really
you're gonna
good.
make some bad mistakes, right? You know, and,
Exactly.
I mean, you and I have both been through those, and
Yes.
we know how painful those struggles are, and,
Yes, we
yeah,
have.
you know, it's a huge investment for an organization to, you know, put that, put that investment towards someone that you think is gonna be a
Yeah.
good fit, and then when you decide, "That's not," you know, we sort of, as we talked about in that episode,
Mhm.
arrived at that conclusion that, you know, you gotta, hire quick and fire fast, right? You know,
Yep,
and
exactly.
do it in a way that, you know, is respectful of the process. But once you've made that determination that they are
Yeah.
not part of the long-term future, you've got to cut the ties as quick as
Yeah.
possible.
That's really, really important. That's really important,
Yeah.
but, yeah, no, that's,
So what do you think the new year holds for our little show?
our little show, we're gonna be doing some different things with our little show.
Yeah.
And actually, yes, we are, Steve, you just don't know it. No, no.
No.
No, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be
Now I'm
yeah,
on the edge of my seat. What am I
I
going to
know,
be
it's like,
doing?
what are we doing? No, but you know what? We're looking forward to really engaging with our listeners, in a different way. Steve and I are working on some things right now to see exactly how we are gonna come back in 2023, but it's gonna be I'm really excited about it and eager to start, working with our audience and
Yeah.
interacting with them more. Yeah.
Yeah, we've really loved this whole concept of kind of a series. We've gotten really good
Yes.
feedback and, response from our audience about that. So we've got a couple of ideas in mind, I think, for the upcoming year, and super excited to be back. But we're gonna do. I mean, this feels like a back-to-back kind of live stream thing, but we're
Yes.
going to do another live stream to kick off the new
Okay.
year. And we're going to talk
Yes.
about setting priorities and resolutions, and if they're all BS, and what do you want to do? And
Exactly.
I don't know if we'll have adult beverages for that one, but we'll, we might. I mean,
We might. Who knows?
are you guys still closed when we do that? I think we're doing that on the 2nd, right? So we're doing it January 2nd.
I'm gonna be actually open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a business work day for you guys.
That's a
Yeah.
business work day for me. Yeah.
Everybody returns to work, I think, on the 3rd here, but I'm
Okay.
coming in just because you told me that I
Thank
need
you,
to.
Steve.
So. Well, this has been a really fun live stream. This is an opportunity for us to just kind of let our hair down, actually kind of come back and visit our
Mhm.
audience that we haven't had a chance to do this a whole lot. Not because we didn't want to. That's a goal that we have for 2023 to do more of these, but we've just been super, in a good way. You and I have been super busy,
Yeah,
which is fantastic. But we certainly appreciate everybody that tunes in and listens to the shows. We are going to get back to that every 2 week kind of cadence
exactly.
for episodes. That's our commitment for 2023, and we're gonna, we've got a lot of fun things planned for the upcoming year. But Asha, this has been a fantastic year. I want to raise my glass to you and say
You too, Steve.
cheers. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. I suggest that you don't worry about anything. You just go enjoy your trip around the globe, um, and drop off a few presents here, there, everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying you're going to do that? Did we just
Sure.
uncover? Did we just uncover the mystery of the
I don't know.
upgraded and new Santa Claus, Dr. Asha Prasad?
Oh my.
Are you on record about that yet?
No, not at all. It's the
All right.
alcohol too.
It's
Yeah.
it's the
So
special rum. Maybe that's what it
exactly.
was. Maybe that's the guy you met at some faraway land and he introduced you to that rum, but maybe that was
Oh,
like
yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Kringle and he's like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you know, I'm just gonna I'm gonna just introduce you to the rum." You're like, "No, I'm gonna get you drunk. I'm gonna get you fired. I'm gonna take your job."
Going to take over. Exactly.
All of this is starting to make perfect sense to me.
Perfect
Oh,
sense
before we
now.
go though, show your sweater with you
Oh,
on the cover in the sleigh.
in the that's not me. I'm like, what, the reindeer?
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyway,
I wore this one just for you. Present
that's so cool. I
are the
love that.
way.
I love that.
And of course, Super Bowl champions
Yes.
this year.
Yes. Mhm. We'll see about that.
Well, if you have any ties to the big guy or to the big, you know, being of Santa, Center Claus or whoever, right? If you
Yes.
put that down on my wish list, I would
Okay.
be most appreciative.
All right.
Bring that to me in the new year. That'd be great. So, well, listen, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. I hope you have a
You too.
fantastic trip. Thanks for making time for this live stream. We're super excited to be back with all of our audience, and we'll be back again January 2nd for a
Yeah.
special live stream to kick off the new 2023.
Sounds great, Steve. Merry Christmas to you and enjoy your time. And I look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Yep, same. All right, take care.
All right. Take care.
Tina just said happy holidays to us both.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Tina.
Tina. All right, you guys, take care.